everybody. A happy Wednesday. I am so excited. We are jumping off for our cup of coffee with Kristen for today. Excited to be here with you. Spend some time with you today. I am super excited. So, we're going to go ahead and just jump in and get started. So, without further ado, let's get ready for today. All right. Welcome, ladies. So last week we started with kind of celebrating spring together, right? Because we were moving into April, nice weather, so excited. So we kind of talked about why it is important to do our spring cleaning for our Jeep and why spring is such a perfect time for that. So today we are going to be jumping in and even going a step further with that as we are working through this amazing weather, getting ready to go out for adventures. Oh my goodness, right? Adventures are right around the corner. We want to ensure and make sure that when we go out for our adventures, we're going to have the absolute best time possible while we are out there enjoying our Jeep. So, we're going to go ahead today and talk about Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. Know that there is no such thing as too much preparation, right? You can't prepare too much when it comes to being able to have these adventures with your Jeep. That's why, come springtime, Jeep owners can be found performing a thorough checklist of maintenance tasks to get their beloved Jeeps ready for the season ahead. So, I want you to be ready for trail riding season, just like you do spring cleaning for your house, for your office, whatever it may be. It is time for your spring Jeep cleaning. So we're going to be jumping in today into your Jeep spring checklist. So don't worry, I have you covered. I'm going to share with you the most important things to get you started, prepared and ready to get out there and enjoy as much as you can in this amazing weather with your Jeep spring checklist that I'm going to be sharing with you today. If you have not already grabbed it, if you would like to, just go ahead, drop hashtag spring, and I will make sure that you get sent your Jeep spring checklist download directly to your inbox so you can jump in and get started with that right away. I know I like having directions to follow, especially checklists. I can like grab my pen and go through and mark it all off. So if you are anything like me, don't worry, I have checklists and charts and spreadsheets for everything. If you've been a part of Lady Jeepers for a while now, you know that. And you probably have a ton of checklists and different worksheets. But if you would like this one, just go ahead and let me know. Hashtag spring, and I will make sure that you get that as well. So if you are new, this is your first time jumping on with us, I want to introduce myself. Hello, I am Kristen DeLibra from LadyJeepers.com. So at Lady Jeepers, I help Lady Jeepers, so women who own Jeeps, to safely enjoy their Jeeps on the trail and to customize and design their Jeeps so that they can confidently create a life of adventure without fear. So, how do I do that? I do that using our Confident Trail system, our courses, our university, our in person events, our private consult care, concierge services, and more. So, when we start talking about spring and jumping in to get ready, before we jump all the way in, I just realized I haven't even said hello to everybody. So if you are jumping on here, let me know where you are watching from. Let me go ahead and get my chat up. Woohoo! Let me know where you're watching from. I love to know what states are being represented here on our lives together. Let's see, stop sharing. There we go. Now I'm big. Woohoo! I can see everybody. So as you're jumping on here, let me know a state that you are watching from. And I cannot wait to see. Let's see, we got Massachusetts. Hello. Thank you for jumping on, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. Tennessee. Ooh, Washington State. Dallas, Iowa. Oh my gosh, it is currently snowing in Iowa, and we were doing a spring checklist video together. That is crazy. Let's see, Kansas, Wisconsin, Tennessee. Hello, Kendra. I love it, ladies. Oh, Wisconsin cheese. We got Longview, Texas. I love it. Well, so even if it is snowing where you are currently located, make sure you grab your spring Jeep checklist. And once spring makes it to you, you will be ready and prepared to get out there and do your spring checklist, your yearly maintenance, and be ready to go to hit the trails confidently, knowing your Jeep is ready. So hopefully that spring weather is right around the corner and that snow will hopefully disappear very quickly. Oh my goodness. All right, we got Virginia in the house. I love it, ladies. So yes, let me know where you're watching from as you're jumping on. And I can't believe that you have snow this late in the year. It is April and you have snow already. Or still. Like that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love all these hashtags spring that I am seeing. You should automatically be getting in your messenger inbox. If you check it, you should be getting this download so you can go ahead and download it, open it on your computer, print it, whatever you would like to do. If you want to follow along or wait till we are done, then you can jump over in your messenger inbox. You will already have the download waiting for you. You can print it out and get started. Snowed here last week. Oh my gosh, ladies. Snow in Washington also. Washington State. Oh my gosh. Like crazy. So crazy. Oh, should I do a no snow? No snow dance. No snow dance. No snow dance. Spring. Spring. Oh, yay. I got the download yesterday, printed it, and ready to go. Woo. Oh, whoo. You did your homework. You're ready for class today. I love it. We got Florida. Okay. So just as you're jumping on, keep letting me know where you're watching from. I'm going to jump back in and we're going to keep going. Today, 78 with tornado chances. That is us here. Let's see, 80 in North Carolina. Woo, that is awesome. All right. I don't want to keep you here all day, so keep letting me know where you're watching from. I'm going to jump in. We're going to work through some more, and then I will come back and see if there are any comments, questions that come up for you while we're going through this so I can make sure that you get what you need out of our spring checklist class together today. All right. So we're going to jump back in. Oh, and I don't know what I just did. Whew, I'm still getting to learn my program, so I don't know what I just did in here. But it's sharing the screen. So we're going to go with that for right now. Then I'll figure out what I just did. All right. So we want to make sure that you have all of your routine maintenance and service up to date. That is something we should be doing all the time, not just saving for, as once a year, as spring comes. This really is something that you should be doing all the time so that you are prepared and you are ready for spring and trail riding and getting out there and adventures and all this excitement that you should be looking forward to. I'm going to go. Oh, nope. Sorry, I'm playing around with this, ladies. Nope. How did I do it before? Picture in picture. Sorry. I know my size keeps changing. Sorry about that. All right. We'll just leave it like this. I just want to make sure you can see the screen and everything as well. Okay. So We know that we are staying up to date with the most important routine maintenance so that, our oil changes, and it includes not only our oil changes, but brake pads and rotors are in good shape. So this is not something you should wait to do once a year for your spring checklist. These are those routine things you should stay up to date on. But when we do our spring checklist, we're going to check all of this. So this one time a year, we are taking our list and we're going to go through everything. So check your brake pads and your rotors. Make sure everything looks like it is in good shape. If you're not comfortable doing this and performing this yourself, I totally get it. Nothing wrong with that. This would be the list I would recommend that you take to your mechanic, and say, all right, I want a good once a year spring cleaning, go over everything, ready for the trail rides, adventures, trips, all of those things that are going to be coming up. I don't want surprises. I want to look at everything ahead of time to make sure it's going to function the best that it can as I'm out there having these adventures. Like, I don't want to get out there and all of a sudden be like, oh my God, I have a brake pad that's sticking, or I have a rotor that's going bad. I want to know those things before I get out there in that adventure, on that trail, halfway across the country, the experience of a lifetime. Like, I want to do all these things I can to make those the best possible. And that's what this is all about. You want to make sure that your U joints are serviced or replaced, depending on what generation Jeep you have is going to determine what you actually have underneath your Jeep. Some U joints are serviceable, so you need to keep up with the service on those. Some of them are not serviceable, so if you look like you have a U joint going bad, go ahead and have that pulled off and put a new U joint on now. Another thing, as we're coming out of winter, right? We're coming into spring, nicer weather, depending on what part of the country you live in. You might have had cold temperatures below freezing. There may have been salt on the roads. All of that can play a part in deterioration and maintenance on different parts and pieces of your Jeep. So make sure to check all of your belts, your hoses. Make sure everything is in good condition. That means there's not cracks. It does not look like they're dry rotting. It doesn't look like there's damage. And if it does look like there might be some cracks, there might be some dry rot. It looks like maybe they're falling apart, disintegrating, not in great shape. Go ahead and get that replaced now. Again, you don't want to end up like, okay, for example, we're going to Moab in June. So excited. Have a couple spots open, ladies. If anybody still wants to make this amazing trip, uh, you can still join us. Okay. But so for us, that's a 3-day across country trip, both directions. So what I don't want to happen is go through and be like, I think this belt will make it a little bit longer. I don't need to replace it right now. I get out there, we make it to Moab. Woohoo, everything's good. We're out on a trail, and all of a sudden it's and either my belt slips off or it breaks. And now all of a sudden I am out in this experience of a lifetime and this adventure that I have planned. And now I'm having to try to fix my Jeep. That takes away from, now, some of that is a great learning experience, especially when you're out there with great people who are there to support you. It's no big deal. Stuff happens. But I'm saying that is something you could do ahead of time to alleviate that situation. Now, you could do the most thorough checklist, go over everything with a fine tooth comb. Sometimes things mechanically fail. Sometimes things happen. That is part of life. But what we are trying to do is lessen the chance of any of that stuff happening by putting in a little bit more work on this front end and being prepared. Another thing you need to check is your battery and the terminal cables. This is something I did a super quick video on how to actually clean your battery terminals. So I will make sure to get that up, and I'm going to share it again for you ladies as one of our quick tip videos. So keep an eye out. I have a whole spring series. We're going to go ahead and re-air, and we have some new videos coming for our spring quick tip video series. That means they're super quick. Try to keep them 5 minutes or less. And literally, it just shows you how to do a quick tip that you need to know going into spring. So one of those I will be sharing is how to clean your battery terminals. You should do that once a year because they can corrode, they can rust depending on the climate. If there's moisture, that's just one of those things. Once a year, make sure that you clean your battery terminals, because if you don't have, and make sure your connections are tight. So you're kind of killing both of those things at once, because you're going to remove your connections, clean your battery terminals, replace your cables, make sure everything is tight, which means you're going to have a good connection. Because if you don't have a good, secure, tight connection, you can lose uh, that voltage, and you can lose all of that electrical. And especially with the newer Jeeps, it can cause some major issues. So you, again, want to be doing the maintenance up front. Another thing, check your battery. How long have you had it? You actually can check the voltage of what the battery itself is reading, so that you can see if it looks like your battery is starting to go bad, and where that actual charge is at. But again, clean the battery terminals, check your connections, your cables, everything once a year. Another thing is your thermostat and your radiator. We're going to be going into warmer weather now. So if there are any issues with your thermostat, your radiator, any of your coolant hoses, your coolant reservoirs, anything like that, it could become a big deal, because we're going into warmer weather. It's going to be hot. Having the cooling system working and performing properly in your Jeep is going to be so important. So another thing, go ahead, and again, you can take it into a mechanic and say, look, I really want you to go over all of these things. Um, I am making this bucket list adventure for this year, and I am going for it. I'm not waiting anymore. I am taking those leaps. I'm going to those places. I am doing those things. And that is what this year is about. So I want to make sure that everything's ready to go. If you want to go ahead and get under your Jeep, and I recommend this whether you're taking it somewhere or not, start to get familiar and comfortable with your Jeep. Um, get a great yoga mat and some towels and get comfortable. Make sure, again, safety first. Your vehicle is in park. You have the emergency brake on. Chalk a tire before you ever climb under your vehicle. And get comfortable. Just get under your vehicle and look. Start to look at everything under your vehicle. Look at where things are connected. Look at where your suspension is mounted. Look at your axles. Look at your differential. Look at all of your hoses and your belts, and just get comfortable being under there looking. Lay under and look. Part of the reason I recommend this is something I've shared with you for your post-ride check, which means when you get home from an event or an adventure, the things you need to look at. One of those is to get under your Jeep again and look. Notice if anything looks different. So, like, is anything bent? Are there bolts missing? Is there moisture or liquid somewhere where there's normally not? Well, the only way to know that is to get in the habit of start getting under your Jeep yourself. This also will help you because you're going to notice things a lot faster. Like, is your drive shaft eaten up? That was me. I got under there because I was actually doing a quick video for somebody about skids, and I got under there. Hadn't been under there since our last ride, and was laying under there doing the video, going through the skids and the full belly skids, things I have under my Jeep, and I noticed that my drive shaft is not looking too good, so I'm getting a new drive shaft. But so you have to get under there and look, and you have to do it consistently, so then you notice changes. So when we're talking about our thermostat and our radiator, check those hoses. I know we just said hoses, but really look at those coolant lines and your hoses that are running in and out of your radiator. If anything looks cracked, if anything is questionable, if it looks like there might be clamps missing, anything like that, Definitely, these are going to be crucially important pieces to make sure that are maintained. Anything is fixed. Anything that is questionable right now is the time of year to go ahead, jump in and get that fixed. So it's ready to go. Because that is so important. And we just talked about your coolant lines. You can see, I know it's hard because of the size of the slide in the picture, but you can see there's actually clamps that help to hold those lines. So make sure the clamps look good as well. Everything looks like it is being held firmly. Of course, you're going to check all of your coolant and fluid levels. We're not there yet. I jumped ahead a little bit. So another thing, check your lug nuts. I know some people will be like, wait, what? Why? Like you put your wheel on, put your lug nuts on, they get torqued down, you know, you get your 100 pounds of pressure using the torque wrench, everything's good to go, and then you just drive. Well, again, we're doing this once over. Believe it or not, lug nuts can rust. Lug nuts can break. They need to be replaced. They can loosen. So this is that time again. Go ahead and take whether you have a torque wrench or not. If you have a torque wrench, set it to 100 pounds. You don't want to over torque your lug nuts. If you don't have a torque wrench, no big deal. That is what that ratchet and socket is for, and just get it as tight as you can. And if anything is loose, tighten it. Here's another thing I recommend. If something is loose, I don't know where my phone is, but I love the app. This is Notes that we have like on our iPhone. If you have an Android, sorry, I'm not an Android user. I don't know anything about them. So maybe you have something like Notes, but if you can put it on your calendar, whatever you can do, put a note in your phone somewhere as a reminder, like, oh, driver's side, rear tire, 2 lug nuts were loose. Then put a reminder in your phone to check it again, say in 30 days. Because if you notice you're having to go back to the same places, maybe it's the same thing. Like, um, you know, this bolt was loose on my wheel spacer, or it might be, I had to tighten uh, this clamp on one of the hoses. Make a note of that, and then set a reminder already. Set it up in your phone for 30 days from that day. Put a timer on it so it's going to alert you. Check it again. And if you notice it's loose again, or it's worked its way loose, or something is still going on with that particular piece in the same place 30 days later, then it's definitely time to upgrade, to fix, to change that. So I love we can use technology to our advantage sometimes now. So we know, like, okay, oh, I had to tighten 2 lug nuts, driver rear. Oh, I had to tighten this hose to the radiator. Okay, oh, I was low on coolant. I had to put in half a gallon or half a quart, whatever it may be. How much did you have to add? That way, you're going to know these things so that you can keep an eye on it so you can catch it before it becomes a big problem. Now, if you have wheel spacers, you already know you need to check those wheel spacer bolts, make sure all those lug nuts are tight every time you rotate your tires. But go ahead again, once a year, it's really important. If you do it yourself or if you have a shop do it, take those wheels and tires off if you have spacers and check every single one of your bolts for your wheel spacers. Then put it back on, then go ahead and go through. So that means you're checking your lug nuts on your wheels anyway, and then you're going to be checking everything for your spacers once a year. Make sure you do that. Another thing we don't always think about is look at the tire pressure and condition of your tires. So I know we talk about this going into winter weather. We have to keep an eye on our tire pressure because the temperature of the air outside definitely directly affects the temperature or the amount of air that is inside our tires, so the PSI. So go ahead and keep an eye on that as spring weather is coming, as it's getting warmer. Keep an eye on that tire pressure. But also, we just came out of winter. So depending on what kind of conditions you live in and the weather. Put some eyes on your tires. Look for any cupping. What does that mean? That means look for any uneven wear in the treads. Does it look like it's worn more on the outside or the inside? Is it an even wear? Do you notice any damage to the sidewall? So really put your eyes on your tires as well, just to make sure they're in good condition. They look like they're wearing correctly. I know you'll notice that when it's time to rotate tires, but add that to your spring checklist. Look at the tread depth. Where are those tires at right now in the longevity and condition? Of course, you are staying up on your routine maintenance, but make sure to check the oil, to have your oil change done, and change out your oil filter. This is something you should stay up to date on. You should stay in your calendar. You should make sure you don't get behind. But if you have gotten behind, just double check and make sure you're up to date. If it is time for an oil filter, make sure you get the oil filter changed. So just make sure that you're kind of starting out spring, an adventure season, up to date and ready to go. Same thing with the air filter. Depending on where you trail ride, this is going to dictate how often you have to either clean your air filter or change out your air filter. Depending on what type of air intake you have, will determine that as well. If you have an aftermarket cold air intake versus the factory air intake, some of that will determine that as well. But make sure going into spring, I know down here in the South, pollen is ridiculous right now. Like I came out today and went outside and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so gross. And there was like a layer of pollen. Right? So it's everywhere. It's on everything. So make a note to check your air filter. This is especially important to be ready for spring. Make sure it is clean. You can take out your air filter. You can take it out and you can use a garden hose. No soap, just a garden hose. Do not use a pressure washer because you don't want to damage the filter, but you can clean it if it is just, like some dust or pollen, and put it back in there. I recommend this if you trail ride. For example, when we do our Florida event, part of what I love about Florida is the weather. But when we were down there, it was really dry. This last year, no, it was actually really wet and we had a lot of mud and water, which was awesome. But the year before, it was super dry. And so everything, it was like that sand is just like, and you're just driving through like these sand crystals and you can see them. So make sure when you get done, if you go to the beach, make sure when you get home from the beach, pull out that air filter, hose it out really good, make sure it is clean as you can get it, and then put it back in there. But if your air filter is starting to look a little cruddy, go ahead and replace it now. Doing it now versus 2 months from now, I mean, I would say do it now because we want to get everything done in spring so we're prepared. So don't put it off. If it's questionable, do it now. That way you get your check mark and you know it's done. So talking about the pollen, make sure that your washer fluid is full. So I know we talked about all of our fluids, but make sure your washer fluid is full as well so that if you do have really bad pollen, bugs are coming back out down here. And then our summer storms are down the road because we're in spring, thank goodness. So we want to make sure that our windshield wipers are good and that our washer fluid is good. So these are things, again, to just check once a year. So then lights and bulbs, make sure that they're all working, right? Do a test, get somebody to help you. Make sure you don't have headlights out, front turn signals, side turn signals, depending on which generation you have, brake lights, rear turn signals. Make sure all of your lights are working. Make sure that they look clear. You don't have one that's like dimmer than another one. You don't have a short somewhere, so like they're flickering. If you have any of that, right now is the time to go ahead and start to address that, fix that, be ready for the rest of the year. Now, when we start talking about our maintenance, we are going to talk about greasing. So doing our maintenance on different parts and pieces. Don't worry, ladies. We have a video that's going to be coming out where we're going to show you how to get under there and grease all these different fittings and all these different parts. But you want to check your sway bar bushings, your sway bar links, and your sway bar disconnects. So that you want to make sure, and again, like your knuckles, your ball joints, your control arms, if you have adjustable control arms, all of that. One, you want to put eyes on it to make sure everything looks like it is still in good shape. You don't see cracks, you don't see damage, you don't see chunks missing from last year's trails. And then you want to go ahead and grease anything that is a greasable fitting. Don't worry, we're going to go in depth on this one for you. So we will show you where everything is located, how to get under there, and how to grease all of this. So that is going to be coming up. Then differential service, differential fluid, and flush if needed. So I recommend if you're trail riding quite a bit, you need to go ahead and do your differential service once a year. If you're going to be trail riding in water or mud, you need to do your differential service more often because ultimately you want to protect those gears. And then depending on what kind of carrier you have in that differential, your lockers, so anything that is in there, it is crucial to keep that fluid as clean as possible so it can be doing its job. So you don't get excess heat in there with those gears. So if you have not done a differential service yet, this is a great time for spring to go ahead and get that done. Then another thing, as we start talking about getting ready to head out on the trail and have those adventures, pull out all of your recovery gear. We're doing a spring cleaning. Pull out that bag, all of your recovery gear, spread it all out, check everything, make sure it is clean, make sure that there's not fraying or damage, nothing is rusted. Make sure everything is in good working order. If you notice something starting to fray or that has rusted, I hate to say it, but it is time to toss it and go ahead and replace that with something new so that you're starting the year off fresh. Everything is ready to go and you are prepared. Same thing for your winch line and your hook. You need to check your winch line. If you have used your winch for recovery, if you haven't used your winch for recovery, you need to spool out that first line to make sure, especially if you have a synthetic line, that there is no damage that has been done because it's just been sitting, with the sun, with the elements. So, and you also want to make sure the winch itself is still working. And if it needs any service, right now is the time to do that as well. So, really quick, let's talk nuts and bolts. Check all nuts and bolts on your Jeep. I know that sounds crazy, but like the fenders, depending on how they were sunk, what was used to put fenders on, bumpers on, anything aftermarket. But also, you need to go ahead and get in the habit of checking the nuts and bolts, getting under your Jeep, knowing what size tools you're going to need. It's specifically for your Jeep. And then also getting in the habit of just checking everything. Then look for any leaks or fluid on parts or components. So notice if you're like, oh, that's a little more fluid right there on the outside of my diff cover. I've never really noticed before. Or oh, there's kind of like a little puddle underneath my Jeep in the driveway. But look for those, for any leaks or fluids where you don't normally see them. This is going to help, again, alert you ahead of time. Look for any rust or damage, depending on where you live, what part of the country, if there's salt on the roads, temperatures, moisture. Check it now to see if it looks like you're starting to have any issues with rust or if there has been any damage anywhere to the vehicle. Now, when we talk about safety equipment, make sure your first aid kit is replenished. So this is something once a year. Again, spring cleaning, once a year, you're going to go through and do all of this. So first aid kit is replenished. If you use Band-Aids, if you use cleaner, if you use allergy medicine, Benadryl, anything out of that first aid kit, make sure that it is replenished. Make sure that anything in there is still good. Check the date on your fire extinguisher. Check the date on your fire extinguisher. Make sure your fire extinguisher is in date. If it is not, absolutely do not keep it in your vehicle. You need to get a new one. Now, once a year, this is my spring cleaning. Go through the Jeep and throw away anything that was from last year. Get new things that are going to be in date for this year. So, bug spray, I replace my bug spray and my sunscreen every year. I know they say sunscreen's only good for a year. I don't want to be sunburned. So every year I go ahead and replenish and get new sunscreen. What I love to do in the Jeep for bug spray, for sunscreen, anything like that, is I'll go to the store and I get the travel size so that it's a little bit smaller and it will fit. And I buy multiple bottles of bug spray and multiple bottles of sunscreen. And I put them in different places, like in the back pocket of the seat, in the center console, in the glove box, in the back compartment. So I have them in multiple different places in my Jeep. Also, double check and make sure that your handheld radio or your CB is working and functioning correctly. Then it's time to spring clean your Jeep. If you are spring cleaning inside your engine compartment, you need to be careful where you spray your hose. I'm going to share a video coming up that we did as well that will talk about how to safely clean inside your engine compartment of your Jeep. You do not want to just open the hood and take a pressure washer to it. You can use towels to cover your air intake. So we will go over that. If you need to, garden hose, be really careful, light pressure, and just make sure that you don't take anything high pressure, again, directly at your engine compartment or any of your parts and components of your Jeep. Undercarriage. Sometimes when we clean our Jeep, we don't really focus on the undercarriage of our Jeep. That is going to be so important. And when I say undercarriage, that's our shocks, our springs, everything. It's going to be really important when you do your spring cleaning to make sure that you really clean underneath your Jeep as well. The undercarriage, your shocks, your springs, everything inside your wheel wells, your brakes. Because if you live somewhere where you got snow and there was salt on the road, you want to make sure you're doing a super deep, thorough spring cleaning to get all of that residue and anything that was built up from the winter off of your Jeep. So use your spring once over to do a good double check before you start out to enjoy this Jeep season. I just want to make sure everyone is prepared. You're ready to go. You're going to take that as prepared as you can be so that you feel confident when you go out there. So if you did not get the download for this checklist, I have it actually printed out as a checklist. So you'll have it in your hand. Drop me #spring and it will come directly to your inbox. So I want to thank you for jumping on here with me. Really quickly, what did we cover today? Really, what we covered is it's that time of year again. Adventure time, Jeep time, revival time, re-life time. We're going to have more daylight hours. Everything is about reliving, right? It's about energy. It's about sun. It's about getting out there. It's about things blooming. It's about the beauty, the colors. What does all that mean? That means that it is adventure time. It is time to no longer sit and wait. It is time to get out there and go for it and do it and enjoy everything that is waiting and that is coming to life for you right now. But that also means that it is that time of year again to make sure you're prepared to get out there and have those adventures. So the days are getting longer, the weather is getting warmer, and Jeep owners everywhere are getting the itch to hit the open road. But before you head out on your first spring adventure, there's one important task that you need to perform to take care of your Jeep. And that is to perform a spring checklist on your Jeep. Go over everything. Make sure you're ready, that you're prepared. This may not seem like the most exciting way to spend a Saturday. but trust me, it's worth it, right? You might be like, this is not how I want to spend my Saturday. I want to be out there behind the wheel. I want to be driving. I want to have that adventure. I want to climb that hill. I get it. But this is what is going to make sure you're prepared to do those things and enjoy every moment. So trust me, it is worth it in the long run. So taking the time to check your Jeep's fluids, tires, lights, everything we went over today will help ensure that you have a safe and fun-filled spring season with your Jeep. So don't put it off any longer. Let's get it done. Let's get ready for those adventures. Let's get out there together and feel prepared and ready and know we did everything that we could to ensure that our adventures, our memories, those things that we've decided to do are going to be as amazing as possible. So get out there and give your Jeep some well-deserved TLC. So I had an idea. I just want to throw this out there to you ladies that are still on here with me, who hung in there with me today for our class. I know our last Ladies Jeeping in a Weekend One Day workshop was so successful. I got so much great feedback, but I also had so many of you amazing ladies reach out to me because you couldn't make it to the last workshop that we had. So I was getting lots of like, when are you going to do one again? I couldn't make that one. I would love to jump on. So I decided that I would put together another Ladies Jeeping in a Weekend workshop. So if you're interested, if you drop hashtag me and hashtag me, M-E, and capital letters, I'm going to get you the information on how you can grab your seat. Of course, it is a free seat. This is going to be 2 hours. We're going to go over the most important things to get you started and out there prepared, feeling safe and confident on the trail. Because again, it's spring. So our focus for this spring is to get you out there, feel prepared, feel like it's time to go take that adventure, make that commitment, go do those things. So basically, I put together another workshop. So it's going to be on a Monday. I'm going to start playing with some different days of the week, see what works best for everybody as well. Great thing though about this workshop, if you grab your free seat, you will get a replay to the workshop. So this is a replay to a step-by-step approach where we're going to go through the hows, the whys, the what, the when, the where of the most important things to get you out there, get you started so that you can safely, confidently take care of you and your Jeep while you are having adventures of a lifetime. So if you want more information, hashtag me down there, and I will go ahead and send you the information so you can grab your free seat. It's not going to be free forever, ladies. So if you haven't jumped on yet, this would probably be a good one to jump on, just because I share so much information on there, and it's 2 full hours that we're on there going through so much information, and you get the full replay of all of that. And it's a step-by-step approach. It's part of the Confident Trail system. So if you've been on the fence, make sure you grab your seat. Because again, this is not going to be able to be free for much longer. I want to make sure you get everything you need for spring. So that's going to be coming up as well. All right. Let me see if we have any questions. I'm big again. Woo-hoo. I love it. Look at those me's. I love it. Make sure you grab your seat to jump on. I love the workshops, ladies. I mean, I love our live classes too, but definitely love our workshops as well. Oh, so amazing. This was so great. So it says I need to see the video to clean my battery terminals. I notice them every time I connect my air compressor. Do not worry. I'm going to go ahead and share that as part of our spring quick tip video series for you, so that you can jump on there, because that is something that is so important to do once a year. Super easy. And I will share the tool that you can buy that you can use and how to do it. And it's really easy, but it can save you so much headache in the long run. So keep an eye out. I love it all. I've learned so much. Yay! I love it. I see a question. Yes. If you put hashtag spring, it's going to get you the download checklist. So you're going to actually get the spring checklist. If you are interested in jumping on and wanted more information on the Ladies Jeeping in a Weekend workshop, drop a me, hashtag me. That way I can get you the different information you're looking for. That way, if you want the download, I can make sure you get the download. If you want information on the workshop, you get info on the workshop. If you want both, you'll get both. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Uh, Great news. We are working on organizing everything. I have some great things coming, some new exciting news. We have been working on getting things even more organized for you amazing ladies to make it easier to find exactly what you are looking for. So keep an eye out. I might be announcing it on the next workshop. So just keep an eye out, ear out. Keep an eye on your emails for some more great stuff that is going to be coming. So thank you, ladies. I love seeing all the spring. I love seeing the me. I hope to see all of you on the Ladies Jeeping in a Weekend workshop as well. And of course, don't forget, mark your calendar to jump on here with me because we are here with free, live, amazing information for you and your Jeep every Tuesday. I'm sorry, Wednesday. Oh my gosh, my days are off. I'm so sorry. All right, let's start that over. That was terrible. Okay. I am here live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern so that you can jump on and enjoy a cup of coffee with Kristen and talking Jeeps. Did not have my coffee today. Um, so I'm feeling better. I had some major dental surgery done, so I can't have hot coffee. So I opted for no coffee today. So I will have it next week though. So mark your calendar. Remember, I said I like using my phone to set alerts and reminders. Grab your phone, open it up, put in there Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Jump right on here with me live, and we will be going through Jeep information for you and your Jeep because I want to be bringing forward Jeep education and knowledge to you uh, to help make sure that you are confident in every aspect of your Jeep journey. That's what's important to me. So, we have a lot more great spring quick tips coming. We have more spring focused training and education for you to help get you out there so that you can confidently conquer the trail and create these adventures together this year. So, thank you for jumping on here with me today. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, you are keeping a secret, right? I'm keeping a secret. It's so hard. Oh, thank you. Sandy said she loved to see that I'm feeling better. I am feeling so much better. So, thank you. Always great to see you too, Kendra. Thank you, ladies. Don't forget, I will be right back on here live next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be driving through spring together. And of course, keep an eye out on the page because we're going to be having our spring quick tip videos popping up. I will go ahead and organize them on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel so that you can just look up spring quick tips. They're all going to be organized there for you. They're going to be quick, easy videos, but very beneficial. And I will make sure that you ladies can find them super easy and check your emails as well so that way you don't miss anything. You can get direct links to all the new videos as they come out. So, oh my gosh, speaking of new videos, hold on a second. How do I do this? I'm going to try this. Trying something new, ladies, for the first time. Oh, here we go. Maybe. Okay. Hold on, I have to upload it. Desktop. All right, so I've been working hard at LadyJeepers to be putting greatness together for you, to help on your journey, everything that has to do with the Jeep life, the Jeep lifestyle, building, driving, keeping your Jeep safe, but taking adventures, all of those amazing things. I have an incredible team. I know some of you ladies have come to our events and have met part of our team. If you came to the extravaganza, you met a bigger part of our team, which is all of our representatives as well as our employees. The team you have not met is that behind the scenes team. I have a virtual assistant who puts the website together, does all these things. We have different, I have different coaches and different programs that I'm a part of. So as part of that, check this out. First time ever, you ladies that are left, you're all right, so that is our trailer that we had made for our live videos. Of course, we have Bonnie, who is absolutely amazing, that has over Newbin, who has done all of our videos, our creation for us, who has our opening and closing credits for all of our training videos. So we decided to try to put something fun together just for these live classes of every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I was pretty excited about that. Ooh, I think it turned out amazing. So start looking. Those are going to be the reminders for our upcoming live classes together. So, oh, Jessica said she loved it. Woohoo! Yay! And I got it. Awesome. I love it. Thank you, ladies. I just had to share before we jumped off. So you got to see it first. So thank you for jumping on here with me. As always, spending some time with me on this Wednesday, going through just spending some time focused on our Jeep, on ourselves on this Wednesday. Why did I have to share with you? Why did I choose Wednesday? Right? I could have done Monday classes. I could have done Friday classes. Why did I choose Wednesday classes for our live weekly classes? I don't know if you've noticed, every Wednesday, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern, I'm right here live with you for a live class. We are diving into the Jeep. You're getting a Jeep coffee break. I did Wednesday because I wanted to make sure that you got something in the middle of the week, right? Because you hear like hump day, middle of the week slump. Wednesday kind of gets a bad rap, right? Because it's dead center. It's the farthest away from the last weekend and the farthest away from getting right dead center in the week. So it's kind of like the slump time, the middle of the week time. Yes, you are so right. So I wanted to bring something fun, exciting, and a way for you to unplug, disconnect, turn off the phone, the computer, whatever it may be. Be like, oh, I'm taking my 5-minute coffee break. I know I don't do 5 minutes, but you know what I mean. That time to be able to step away and shut everything else off, spend some time for you so that my goal is you're getting your middle of the week refuel so that you're getting excited for all of the amazing Jeep things you can be doing that are going to be coming up for the Jeep end. So I'm here with you, ladies. We are going to make Wednesdays better and better, more and more exciting, with more information being brought forward as we are on this Jeep journey together. So thank you. I will see you next week. Keep an eye out. We always have exciting things happening here at Lady Jeepers, so keep an eye on the page and watch your emails. And I will see you again next week. So thank you again for spending some time with me. Glad I could share some new things with you. Woohoo! You got to see it first. First look, first glimpse. I love it. All right, ladies, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday and an amazing Jeep end. Bye, everybody.